So yesterday I went to go see the new Ryan Coogler film with Michael B. Jordan. Man, that thing was crazy, bro. Great film, 10 out of 10. Great execution, great story, great subliminal messages, great undertones. It was just everything that the black culture wanted right now out of a movie. And I don't even really like vampire movies. The vampire thing can be like, you know what I'm saying? Niggas up there making wooden steaks and shit, garlic. I ain't never been the biggest fan of vampires. But what they did in that film was crazy, bro. So I want to get into it. I got something I want to talk about, which is the relationship between music and evil that was imagined in this film. So the film takes place in the blues era, and the main character is a singer, musician, guitarist whose cousins come back, smoke, stack. They come back to Mississippi to buy a juke joint, a club, and they give him his chance to live out his musical ambitions. And he's a preacher's kid, and in the South, due to the harsh realities of racism and having no outlets at the time, we're very religious. Very extremely church going, God fearing folk, black folk in the South. So our main character has this conflict as a preacher's son between his love of blues music, which was portrayed as the devil's music in the film, and doing what he was taught was morally righteous. So when I seen these things in the film, it got me thinking about a lot of parallels to the modern times music industry and its relationship to evil or selling your soul. So the cousins could very well, Smoke and Stack, Michael B. Jordan's characters, could very well be looked at as a version of a record label. Because in the 30s, the early 30s, there was no streaming. There was no Apple Music. There was no mixtapes. There wasn't even no record players or cassettes. So a musician trying to make a living in their lifetime would have to get in a club, perform for money, perform at a successful venue to be considered a successful musician in their lifetime in that time period. So it's a parallel because the label comes with all the temptation, right? The women, the drugs, the money, the fast lifestyle. I think Coogler kind of explored those themes by the character Sammy Preacher Boy being exposed to all these things through Smoke and Stack's club. Their juke bar, almost like a metaphor for the music industry, because it had everything that comes with the music industry that we see nowadays, which is why it was linked to the devil. And you could see Sam doing everything that he knew was wrong or that he shouldn't be doing, according to a religious Bible standpoint, like drinking, having sex with a married woman, eating her, partying, and just all this to get his music out, which can be tied to evil based on the places where if you're not singing for God in the church, then you're singing for the devil. That's how very religious people, one-track minded people really see things. And this film explores how, in a sense, it could feel that simple. It could feel that simple. Even today, in today's rap music, we glorify drugs, sex, alcohol, killing each other, and stuff like that. So it's like, if that's really what success is through music, then is it really righteous? That's a story for another day. I'll probably make a whole video on that. But I believe in the South in the 30s, we didn't have outlets as black folk to feel community, to feel safe, to feel togetherness, to feel power within ourselves, to feel empowered until we got access to music industry or sports. People feel community in sports. People feel empowered in business, of course, too, creating those areas where people can come together. But if you create a place for people to come together and they drinking, what humans gonna do, which I don't think is unrighteous. Jesus turned his blood to wine. I don't know why. I'm not a Christian, but I don't think drinking is unrighteous. Christians or religions will try to spin it like that. So the drinking, the sex, all these things that come to temptation. Hence the title of the movie, Sinners. And he explores into a lot of deep parallels between the past, present, and future. He does this very dope scene where the main characters, I'm not going to spoil it, but he's singing a song and there's this crazy montage that is the wildest thing I have ever seen on film. In an artistic visualization that quick to give as much in-depthness to the situation that they did without making it corny and cheesy. And a lot of people wouldn't have been able to do that like that. I ain't gonna lie. They pulled that off in a way that you can't do nothing but just salute them boys. Overall, the movie for me was a 10 out of 10 though. Parallel to me with the music industry of today and the music scene, entertainment scene that was portrayed in this movie, black folks doing their own thing, creating their own infrastructure without white people, is that they were vultures. The vampires were like vultures. They wanted Sam, they wanted the preacher boy. They said, give us him and we'll leave y'all alone. They wanted to control the culture, even to the point where in the future, damn, I don't know if I'm spoiling too much, but at the end of the day, they wanted his musical gift, which was said to be able to connect to the afterlife, which can be good or bad depending on how you look at it. So, and I just think it's deep because music is deep like that. It's like spells, rituals and shit. When Smoke and Stack was getting the club together, they went and got the older character who played the piano, and he had another prior gig at another bar or whatever. The Michael B. Jordan character offered him $40 and an Irish beer. He let him taste the Irish beer and told him, we got 500 more of these. And we about to pay you big tonight. Dude buckled into that temptation, just like how the labels will dangle a huge advance in your face and alcohol get you faded, promise you the world basically. And he didn't even make it through that night. No, so that's what's crazy. The parallels are very intense. I'm pretty sure it's more parallels. If you've seen some parallels or you think it's something that I'm leaving out or getting mixed up, just leave it in the comments. We can talk about it for sure. I ain't tripping. Comment and subscribe to help out. It's free. It's how I keep doing this and able to make more videos, man. But like I said, 10 out of 10 movie. If you haven't seen Sinners, you need to go. Take your girl, take your family, take your brother, take your sister. It's a dope film, man. Especially, actually for everybody. I don't care what color you are. Black, white, Asian, Latino. And I just salute them boys. I can't wait to see what Ryan Coogler come out with next. Michael B. Jordan come out with next. Even the young boy who played Sam, the preacher's kid, I can't wait to see what he come up next. But this has been the relationship between evil and the music business through the eyes of the film Sinner. Because I might do some more of these, so you got to keep it concise. So follow me for more. Twitch, Instagram,